Well, let's start with our football, and Tony Mepham is in the studio with me. And St Mary's, they were made to work hard. You said it was a very young Douglas Royal side, but a very talented Douglas Royal side. They took the lead early in the second half, but St Mary's scored 3 and are 9 points clear at the top, Tony.
Yeah, they did well and got a little report in, so we might as well mention it. It was 0-0 at half-time. Douglas Royal were disappointed not to be a couple of goals up. They took the lead after the break with a Tom Chattle wonder strike from 25 yards. Mary's equalised with 20 minutes to go, then took the lead with about 10 minutes left. Roy's defender tried to clear the ball and it hit Frank Jones on the back and rolled in. And Douglas Royal kept pushing for the equaliser. They went down the other end and scored with the last kick of the game. Absolutely gutted that Douglas Royal didn't get a point, and that's coming from one of their fans. But, looking at St Mary's goals, that's where true champions are born, aren't they? And Alex Harrison with a goal, Frank Jones, as we've just touched on, and Josh Thomas got the other one. So a bit of a worrying afternoon for them, but they got it right in the end, and as you say, remain top of the table.
Rushen, though, they move up into second place after a 3-1 win at home at a blustery Port Erin there against Laxey.
Yeah, welcome back to Jamie Johnson. He's been struggling a little bit with injury, but it was 3-1 at half-time, so job done in the first 45 minutes. Jamie Johnson with 2. Matthew Lamb got the other one. Well done, Matthew. For Laxey, it was an own goal.
And Corinthians move up to third in the table. Both of them, Rushen and Corinthians, leapfrog over Peel and St George's. It was Ramsey 2, Corinthians 4. And a good job Corinthians got off to an absolute flying start with 2 goals up, I think, in 4 minutes they were at Ballyclone.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it was Sean Doyle with the first. Not too sure who got the second, Kane or Josh Ridings, but 2-0 up and looking comfortable for them. But I think it was worrying times then because Ramsey put a right fight back on Corinthians. Jamie Moffat from the penalty spot. Ashley Kelly got the second one for Ramsey. As I say, Sean Doyle got another one, and as a goal each for Josh and a goal for Kane Ridings as well. So 3 points on the board, but Corinthians will be a little bit disappointed that they started off so well and then allowed Ramsey to get back into it, but well done to Ramsey.
Absolutely. Round 3, Douglas Athletic 1, and that's a big 3 points for the home side down in the lower end of the table.
Yeah, it's a huge 3 points, and Matthew Macquarie with the first one. Adam Meelan got one, then Macquarie from 50-55 yards, wind assisted, but he still had a pop at it and got it in. Well done, Matthew. Then Mikey Callister got one towards the end of the game, and clever goal as well because he was marshalled by a couple of Maroons players, but he managed to get past them and then put it to the goalkeeper's right-hand side. And Douglas Athletic then tried to pick themselves up to try and get back into the game, but unfortunately for Athletic, Lee Ford got sent off towards the end, so that scuppered anything there. And bit of a coming together by a group of players, but it was dealt with by Peter Greenhill, and Moran get 3 big points.
I got the feeling from listening to your commentary you thought there should maybe be more than one red in that incident.
Well, I thought so. There was 1 red, there was 2 yellows, but there's a player who got away with it completely who I thought deserved a red. But it doesn't matter, we're not here to penalise people. I'm not a referee, and I just watched it. But there was a lot of comments.
You're entitled to opinion.
I am, Tim. I am. Graham Duggan doesn't think so, but I am entitled to an opinion just like he is. I've taken his opinion like a man. Hopefully they've taken mine like a man.
Old Boys 3, Pulrose 1.
And it was 1-0 at half-time to Douglas High School Old Boys. The goal, I think, is being awarded to J.J. Belander. The reason why I say that is because wind assisted, they weren't too sure it was, so we'll let the panel sort that one out. But
a lot of wind assisted goals, even at your game today,
incredible,
weren't they?
Definitely. Mike Booth got a goal. Robbie Ward got one in the last minute, I think it was, of the game. Owen Canepa got a goal back for Pulley because it was 1-1 at one stage, Tim, but Old Boys get the 3 points. And I think Paul Rose also had a player sent off midway through the second half, so that didn't help their cause.
OK, let's move to JCK Limited Division 2. Still don't have any news, Tony, on Ayr and Maloo.
No, not yet.
Which is going to have a bearing at the top. But the leaders, after a fine run of form, went to, promotion fellow side, I would imagine, in the mix at the end, Foxdale, and Foxdale got the better of them. It was Foxdale 2, Colby 1.
Yeah, and as I touched on at lunchtime, Tim, I think Foxdale showed enough to me last week that they could be involved at the top of this Division 2. Colby today, it was 1-0 at half-time, so it was nice and tight. Kevin Pullman with a goal for Foxdale. Stewie Morrison got the other one. Carl Hickey, usual goal scorer for Colby, got their goal in the second half. So Colby dropped points, and they played a few more games than the rest around them, Tim. And it's a great win for Foxdale in their 11th game.
Certainly keeping things interesting in that division, that's for sure. Union Mills, they won 6-2 away at Jim's, and, the one player with 4 was definitely the star.
Definitely. And Luke Booth it was who got 4 goals. Well done, Luke. Sean Traylor got the other one. And Bevans got the last goal for Union Mills. Haven't got Jim's goal scorers, but 1 in each half.
OK, an important result towards the top just come in.
Yep.
7-0 to Ayr. Sorry, can't remember the scorers, but at least we've got the results. 7-0 to Ayr. And let's just talk about the abandoned game. 35 minutes in, it was 0-0, but Michael St John's abandoned. It would have been a bit exposed there.
I think so, and thank you to Peter Kelly for phoning up and giving a full explanation. By the sound of it, it's absolutely horrendous wind. The ball just couldn't stay in play. It spoilt the game, and I take it the referee has spoken to both captains, and they decided that in the best interests of safety in a game of football,
let's get to the
should
mitre.
Be abandoned. And sure, they went in the clubhouse and had a beer afterwards.
Ramsey Youth Centre 2, Onken 0.
Yeah, good win for Youthy, 1 in each half. Brad Birchall with the first, I think it was, and Harry Grant got the other one.
And Douglas and District 2, Governors Athletic 2.
And it was 2-0 to Governors at half-time. Aaron Broad and Jordan Birchall were the goal scorers for Governors. But for D&D, there was one early on in the second half. I think it was George Refs Butler who got that one. And then the last minute equaliser for D&D scored by Mark Quirk.
So quite a change around there. Canada Live Combination 1 and St Mary's 2, Douglas Royal 7.
Yeah, a bit of a shock this one, and I wanted to find out some information on it. And St Mary's right to the bones today for the combination because the players injured, not available, but they still went out there and give it their all. But great result for Douglas Royal. Stuart Foley with 1, Titus Craig. Well done, Titus. He's new into senior football. James Clark got 1. Don Brennan got 4 goals. That's twice now. I think he's only played 3 or 4 games in the combi. Twice he scored 4, so he's a player to look out for. Scored 4 against Russian. Joe Berquist it was who got the 2 goals for St Mary's.
I think it means Corinthians go top, if I remember rightly, after an 11-2 win over Ramsey.
Yeah, good result, that one. It was tight because Corinthians, up until half-time, what was it, something like 4-2, 5-2, but Danny Oram had a great game today. He scored 4. Tom Lancaster got 1. Darryl Haslett. Tom Callister, who's coming back from injury. Dane Patience got a goal. Jordan Cowan, Adam McCulloch, and Tony Edgar got a goal as well. I haven't got Ramsey's 2 goal scorers, so if you could please text us through 166177.
Douglas Athletic 3, Moran 0.
Yeah, and it was Mark Hargreaves' hat-trick that got the points there for Athletic.
Laxey 2, Russian 3.
2-0 to Laxey at half-time,
yeah.
Tim.
I think there's been a few games like that where one side's got
like
an advantage and it's reversed in the second half.
Yeah, Russian are a good side, and in the second half they did well. Aaron Hawley with a couple of goals, and Danny Shuttleworth got the other one there for Russian.
And St George's 9, Castletown 0.
4-0 at half-time, 9-0 at the end. That's all we've got.
Yeah. A JCK Limited Combination 2. We've talked about St John's 7, Michael 1. That was from last night under the floodlights out there at Mulliny Cloy. Reverse of the result up the road at Billy Goat, down at Station Fields, Colby 2, Foxdale 1.
And that's the only information we've got, Tim.
Governors Athletic 1, Douglas and District 5.
3-0 to D&D at half-time. Haven't got Athletics goal scorer, but for Douglas and District it was Ashley Humphreys with 2, Kevin Doyle, Rick Pearson got 1, and it was thought to be Rick Delaney, but it wasn't. The goal has now been awarded to Josh Knights.
Okay. We don't have Malou v.
Nope.
Air. 166, 177 if you can in the Combi 2, and we'll get it on. Onken 2, Ramsey Youth Centre 3, they march on.
They do march on, and absolutely delighted, Tim, to see Daniel Sherry back with a hat-trick, because Daniel, I think, bust his ankle or his leg, it was, in a final last year. I think it was the Paul Henry final, so great to see him back playing. Great player, and a worrying injury at that time because it didn't look good, but he's back playing football. Well done to everyone who's got him fit. Billy Coulter with a goal. Jack Chamber got one. And for Onken, they missed the penalty 10 minutes from the end.
Ooh.
And also a message, well refereed by Willie Cowley. And also a game that Stewie Morris refereed earlier on in the Ramsey Corinthians game. Message just come through, well refereed by Stewie. So congratulations. Yep.
Yeah. Union Mills 11, Jim's 2.
5-1 at half time. I think it was a bit of a statement by the manager today because a couple of the boys have been away and put them in the combination today. Carl Uren with 4. Colin Geraghty got 4 goals as well. Well done to you two. Kai Stevenson, Ashley Bovington down, and an own goal as well. Haven't got Jim's goal scorers.
The Women's Cup final tomorrow.
Yeah, the way it is at the moment, Tim, it's down at the Bowl on Astro. We're going ahead with it. We'll wait and see how the conditions are tomorrow. But it's give the wind dying down. The rain obviously is due to sort of disperse as well. So we're going to crack on with it. But what a good game in prospect to watch both semi-finals last week. And that Douglas Royal and Peel game was a peach because Royal were leading 2-0 and then Peel got it back to 2-2. Ellie Gorn with a couple of goals and then went into extra time and then we went into a penalty shootout as well. Peel's goalkeeper was absolutely superb and it made for a cracking game. The other one was a little bit more one-sided. Corinthians beat Laxey 8-0 and Corinthians have been struggling at the moment numbers-wise due to injuries and people being away. So the game kicks off 2:45 at the Bowl. There's plenty of cover down there, so there's a little bit of rain, don't worry about it. But we'll have a look at it in the morning with the wind and make a decision, but hopefully game on.
OK, Tony Mepham, thank you very much indeed for joining us.